Hi everyone, I'm Tom Bamford. I work for Catalyst. We are an independent not-for-profit. Our vision is opportunity for all from world-leading innovation, helping people and businesses to innovate faster and more inclusively in Northern Ireland. To help us in this endeavour, we have access to MIT's AI Toolkit, and I'm going to talk you through Jetpack and some of the AI tools which take the heavy lifting out of formulating a plan for your startup. Once you have access and you've logged in through the Orbit portal, you're going to be brought to this screen and you're going to be prompted to input your ideas. So I've come up with a concept for demonstration purposes only that I'm going to be calling Proof Point Bio. Click Submit, and once you've hit Submit, it creates a new entry, and then you click here to enter a description of your company. I got GPT to come up with this short value proposition based on my concept. It's essentially giving an overview of what the company does. And the concept I'm using is a startup designed for early stage life science companies to help them with decisions on their regulatory pathway and clinical trial design. But your business idea can be anything. It's important that your value prop isn't War and Peace. It isn't reams and reams of text. It's a short value prop on what the company does, the pain point and the solution your business provides. And once you're happy with the value prop, you click on Save, and then you go into Disciplined Entrepreneurship. And that'll bring you to this screen, which gives you an overview of your value prop at the top and a breakdown of the 24 steps of the Disciplined Entrepreneurship framework. Now they're all color-coded: blue for who is your customer, red for what can you do for your customer, yellow, how does your customer acquire your product, green, how do you make money off your product, orange, how do you design and build your product, and purple, how do you scale your business. So once you're here, go into step 1, market segmentation. It'll read the resources and come up with an answer for you. So in real time, it comes up with its suggestions for market segmentations based on the prompt that I have given it for Proofpoint Bio. It's saying early stage biotech companies, digital health startups, regulatory agencies, clinical research organizations, and investors in biotech and digital health. I'm not certain investors in biotech and digital health is going to be in my sweet spot in terms of market segmentation. So I'm going to edit this. So if you go into, if there's something that the AI has suggested that you disagree with, or it's got something wrong, as with all AIs, you have to have human in the loop. So you go into update your idea and you scroll down, and if you go into market segmentation, there's a section where you can put in more notes. Now there's lots of room here, but I'm only going to put in one quick note, which is to remove investors as a market segment, and then you hit save. So there we go. It has removed investors under the market segmentation. There's further details on what you need to consider in terms of your market segmentation at the top. There's a video explaining a little bit more about the importance of developing your market segmentation. There's also a matrix guide that explains the table on end user, urgency of need, competition and alternatives, and a top level overview of what market segmentation is about. But once you're happy with all of the sections, then you go to next step. So this is all about your beachhead market. Which of those market segmentations should be your beachhead market? Who should you be approaching first as the CEO of Proofpoint Bio? And it seems obvious for this example that early stage biotech companies should be top of the list based on the information that I had submitted, and that's exactly what it's suggested. Biotech startups focused on drug development, digital health companies, academic research institutions, CROs, and regulatory consulting firms. I kind of agree with all of those, but all of the sections are then ranked as well, to high, medium, and low, based on the different market segments, giving a rationale and a ranking. Again, if you disagree with anything that has been suggested by the AI, you just go back in and hit Update Idea. You scroll down to the beachhead market. If you wanted to suggest, I actually think you're wrong, that there's a different beachhead market that should score higher, you put in your rationale into this section under beachhead market, and there's plenty of room to add in lots of notes, and it's the same with every section. But that's pretty much the bones of it. So let's cancel out of this and go back to the steps matrix. As you can see, as you complete each section, it changes from a pastel color to a solid color. And it's the same with every single section, so you can tell at a glance how far you've gotten once you've gone through all 24 steps. You also have access to Startup Tactics, and Startup Tactics is the follow-on from Disciplined Entrepreneurship, and it's exactly the same process that you go through using this AI. If you are a climate and energy venture, you have an option for that as well, and it's tailored obviously for more climate and energy startups. You also have access to the Disciplined Entrepreneurship Canvas, and this is quite a useful top-level overview of where you are as a company. There are 10 sections to the Disciplined Entrepreneurship Canvas. Your raison d'etre, why are you in business? Your initial market, who is your customer? Value creation, what can you do for your customer? And as you can see, it's still thinking. It normally takes a few moments, but it goes into competitive advantage, and goes into the customer acquisition process, as well as unit economics, and further on down you'll get to your sales strategy and scaling. But those are the 10 sections of the Disciplined Entrepreneurship Canvas. It even gives you who your first 10 customers should be. Again, you've got an explainer video, a matrix that explains what each of these sections are. But let's go back to the steps matrix, and you can go into Startup Tactics and do the same process. So Disciplined Entrepreneurship, the 24 steps, provides a strategic framework for building a solid business foundation, focusing on things like your primary market research, your ideal customer persona, your business model. Whereas Startup Tactics acts as the operational guide to help execute and validate the strategy formed from the Disciplined Entrepreneurship framework. Think of Startup Tactics as the roadmap and the granular detail of implementing your priorities. It explores things like timelines, objective key results, milestones that you need to be addressing and thinking about. Gives you even timelines, like I say, for each of these. Again, if you wanted to edit any section, you just go into Update Idea, and I think that there's a higher priority in my goals, or the timelines that it's suggesting are wrong, then you can go in and edit them as you see fit. But that's pretty much everything that you need to know. If you have any questions on any of this, the Catalyst team are on hand to help you, and I enjoy playing with it. I hope you do too, and I really hope that you find the outputs useful and impactful for your business as you develop and grow.